Hey everybody, welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. So we've got this 5-acre property in Luna County that we've had on the website now for over a year. And it's one of these where I thought I really lucked out when I found 10 adjacent half-acre lots that could be sold as a 5-acre property. That's kind of a rarity in that region. You don't find 5-acre properties. You don't find that many adjacent half-acre lots that you can offer. And typically my experience in other regions of the state is that when you have that kind of exceptional thing, that kind of combination of adjacent acreage that you can sell, people, swoop in and scoop it up really fast because they know how rare that is. Luna County, however, at least it seems with the buyers that we've dealt with, this is not something that anybody's really interested in. It doesn't seem to appeal to everybody as much as it does in other regions like Rio Rancho or Tres Piedras or you name it. So we've decided to break up these 5 1-acre lots. You can still buy them all at once. You could buy the 5 acres for $4,600, or you can buy them individually if you just want a 1-acre lot in this subdivision in Deming Ranchettes down in Luna County. You can buy the 1-acre lots for $950. So we've got 5 $950 lots, or you can buy them all for $4,600. Hang on a second. Yes, $4,600. All right. So point being, with all that said, I just want to show you guys these are reference numbers LNNM-1030E, and then we're going to break them down into -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. If you have any question about which is which, just come down here on the listing page. Down here in the gallery, we've got this representation demonstrating which one is which. So, for instance, 1030E-1 is going to be the westernmost property, and 1030E-5 is going to be the easternmost property. I hope that's not too confusing. Anyway, with that said, all of these properties are located in Deming Ranchettes, and I'm going to work off the 5-acre listing page here. And I'm going to bring this up on a map and just kind of talk to you about all of these. Of course, everything I'm discussing here will be applicable to each of these, 1-acre properties. It's the same thing. So this video will be posted on each of the 5 individual listing pages and then the 5-acre listing page as well. So as with all of our properties, come down here, click any one of the GPS coordinates, and it will bring the property up on the Google Maps. So just to reiterate, the 5 acres is roughly like this, right here in the sort of middle of the block, just west of this Cottonwood Road right here. So let me just zoom back and talk about where these are within the county, within the state, and give you guys a little introduction to the subdivision if you have not previously watched one of our Deming Ranchettes videos. So these properties are in Luna County. Luna County is a small little county down here on the southern portion of the state. It takes up the amount of space that I'm outlining here, just slightly north of the I-10 down to the U.S.-Mexico border, and roughly just east of the mountains over here, and something like west over here. It's a small little boxy county down in the southern part of the state. And the Deming Ranchettes subdivision is one that occupies, I don't know if it's exactly 1/2 of the land in Luna County, but it feels like it. Deming Ranchettes is all of this land right here from the highway down to about here, and all of this land right here, and all of this land right down to about 3/4 of the way down past what I'm calling the goose egg right here. Point is, it's a giant subdivision. It occupies a lot of space down there. And I like this subdivision for a couple reasons, so I'll just run through those quickly. The first, number one, is that when you see a sub like this, where there's this dense concentration of population up here in the north by the highway within Deming proper, you would anticipate that the further south, east, west that you go, the fewer homes, the fewer residences you're going to see, the less built up that it is, until you get down to a part like this, and my God, it must be a no man's land down there. But that's in fact not the case. Deming Ranchettes, for a variety of reasons, is actually, if you zoom in on really any portion of this map, you're going to see family farms down here, you're going to see homes, you're going to see people living really all throughout this region. Now that's due to a number of reasons. Number one is that when the developer developed this region, they sold off all these, chopped it up in a bunch of half-acre lots, but they sold them 2 at a time. So pretty much every landowner in the region, whether they're a second or third generation landowner, they have at least 1 acre of land. And as you guys know from hearing me talk about this in past videos, it's not a hard and fast rule in New Mexico, in quote-unquote undeveloped parts of New Mexico, where you need at least 3/4 of an acre to build. But for the most part, most people don't want to mess around with trying to do all the permitting and workarounds that you would need to build on something smaller than that. So a lot of subdivisions in New Mexico were hindered by that fact, and were sort of it retarded their growth over the last few decades. That is not the case with Deming Ranchettes. Everybody's got at least 1 acre of land, so everybody can build. So they can build up here close to Deming itself, or they can build down here. And that's why you see so much population spread out with that in this region. Now, that's number one. So that to me suggests that the area is going to continue to get built up, number one, and number two, property values are going to continue to rise over time. Does that mean that these 5 acres we're selling will be worth $1 million in 10 years? No, that's absurd. But they will continue to increase in value simply because the whole area is growing. All right, so that's number one. Number two, additionally, when you look at a region like this and you see that, okay, well, this area definitely has utilities. Again, typically the further from that you go, the less, the fewer utilities you're going to find. When you come down here into this region, another reason people are so, eager to build out here, or why they have such an easy time of building out here, is there are really utilities all throughout the subdivision. If they're not on every road, they're on every other road. Additionally, all the roads are well maintained out here. It's less that they're well maintained than it is just such an arid climate that there's no overgrowth on these roads. You can pretty much traverse any road within this subdivision, no matter how rural or undeveloped it may be, in any vehicle type, simply because there's nothing really growing out there. So the roads are all, pretty well maintained. So the point is, you've got an area that's constantly growing, you've got well-maintained roads, you've got utilities close by, blah, blah, blah. These are some of the nice things about this. Additionally, however far it may look on the map here like you're far from Deming, realistically speaking, if you right-click and measure distance, you are only about, 14 miles as the crow flies. So maybe that's at most a 20-minute drive, but the point is right down here by the property, you're just a quick hop, skip, and a jump away from the 331. You take that straight up into basically up here to where the 418 meets Deming. Where the 418 connects, and then you can drive into nearby Deming. Now, of course, up in nearby Deming, as you can see, they've not only got the Municipal Airport, they've not only got access to the highway here, which will take you into nearby Las Cruces, etc., but you've got the Walmart, you've got, just basically every big box store or chain restaurant that you're going to need, groceries and supplies, etc., as well as Mimbres Memorial Hospital. You've got access to things like schools, churches, medical, so on and so forth. So being only 15 minutes outside of that is not bad. Now, as we go down here and we talk about these exact properties, let's discuss this. So I just made a whole big deal about how power is on pretty much every street. Okay, well, as you get down here into this region, it's not on this road, it's not on this road. Closest power to these properties, and I say this interest of full disclosure, though you'll find power out here a lot. Nearest power, as far as I can tell, is probably this property right over here, which is roughly, I think, about a half mile from here. Let's again right-click and measure distance, and then you will see, yes, about a half mile. Now, you can also see that there's some people living over here and over here. Here, there's one up the road here that looks to have like a kind of nice house up here. This one, etc. Power all around at those specific regions, but roughly about a half a mile from this area itself. Now, of course, on each of these listing pages, we have photos taken from this region itself. This was a time where we sent our photographer out to take pictures, and I think he was shooting something like 12 properties that day. So we have a limited amount of photos, 10 photos, something like that, from this street itself. But as you can see, this will give you an excellent sense of what it is like out here. So as I was saying before, roads are well maintained simply because of the arid climate. Additionally, as you go through here, you can see that these are nice, flat, buildable pieces of land. So this isn't the kind of thing where you're going to have to excavate, not the kind of thing where you're going to have to grade or flatten or level or, do a lot of landscaping on the lot if you want to come out here and just park a mobile home, a modular home, or if you want to start building, etc. Additionally, of course, you've got some very nice views of the Florida mountains off in the distance from out here. And as you go through this, you will see basically all of that just reiterated in each of these photos, etc. So I will let you explore the limited photo gallery that we have on your own time. Whatever the case, these are all, down here in the southern portion of the subdivision, but very close to the highway with easy access, as noted, up into nearby Deming. And of course, if you work down in, say, Columbus, or if you work at, the U.S.-Mexico border, something like that, not too distant of a drive. If we, again, right-click and measure that, you can see down here, roughly about a 20 minutes, something like that, as the crow flies. Once you get on the highway down here, it's probably something like 20 minutes to get down there. So not too bad. And, of course, you've got easy access over here, not only to groceries and supplies, things like that, but you've also got Rockhound State Park in this region, and just a lot of great trails and places you can go camping, hiking, exploring over here in the nearby Florida mountains, wilderness area, etc. I should also point out just some notable things here about Luna County, which is that in regions like this, in Deming Ranchettes, you can actually park an RV for 30 days at a time without being hassled by the man. So that's good. For all of you who are RV enthusiasts, you think you're going to be passing through there, you think it's a property you're going to visit, every couple months, something like that, you'll have at least 30 days that you can park the RV on the land. And realistically speaking, is anybody keeping track? Is anybody out there with a stopwatch? No, probably not. It's more likely one of those things, as long as you're not annoying the neighbors, you could probably get away for longer. But 30-day time limit on parking the RV out there. It should also be noted, of course, that when you're in this region of the state, you're very close to Las Cruces, as I was discussing earlier. Las Cruces is roughly I forget, so I have to measure distance again, about a mile. What is that, like about an hour along the highway, maybe a scooch more, something like that, into Las Cruces. And of course, you're not too far from not only the sort of nightlife of Las Cruces and all the things that are offered out there, but you're also in pretty close proximity to Elephant Butte Lake up here, which of course is the largest body of water in the state, and White Sands National Park over here, and just plenty of great stuff to do down here in the southern portion of the state. Blah, blah, blah. So with all of that said, guys, I will let you peruse the listing on your own. If you have questions about, hey, I'd like to build out here, can I build X, Y, and Z? Realistically speaking, if you want to build some sort of single-family residence, that's not difficult to do. It's when you get into things like shipping containers or tiny homes, that's where I encourage people to really reach out to county planning and zoning and talk to them. Find out if that sort of thing is acceptable or what sort of permits you need to do that. So if that's the case, if that describes you, if that describes what your interests are, we've got their contact number down here. Additionally, when it comes to drilling a well, if you're going to have a residential well out here, New Mexico Office of the State Engineer, that's who you're going to want to talk to if you're getting permitted for that, for getting water rights out here. In regards to the water table in this region, when I see this many people living in, such a cluster, basically a cluster out here, this suggests to me that the water table is fairly accessible. It's not too difficult, not too expensive to tap into. Additionally, you've got a lot of family farms out here, so you should anticipate that. Water table depth is a difficult thing for us to quote you an exact number on. It's a difficult thing for us to tell our buyers, oh, it's definitely 50 feet. So, we always encourage people, reach out to local well drillers, talk to them. But realistically speaking, when you see this much green in an area, when you see this many people living in a region, it's safe to assume that you're not going to have much difficulty getting water to a property. Blah, blah, blah. With all that said, guys, I will let you peruse the listing page on your own. I did, however, just want to make a video introducing you to the fact that we were separating these properties up and offering them as either the 5-acre lot, which you can buy for the $4,600, or the individual 1-acre lots, which you can buy for $950. By the way, guys, if you'd like to purchase one of these properties, before I forget, come up here, click the Buy Now button. It will bring you to a secure checkout page. Enter some piece of information that we need to create the deed to convey the property to you. Legal name for deed, your name, your wife, your husband, your kids, whatever. How we can get in contact with you, email, phone, and then, of course, the tax address, how Luna County can send you the yearly tax bill, which is a negligible amount of roughly about $60, something like that. Agree to the terms of service, and on the next page we'll ask you for credit or debit card information. Once you enter all that, we are the owners of the land. Once you give us money, as far as we are concerned, you are now the owner of the land, realistically speaking. However, the process goes a little something like this. Within 24 hours, we're going to have a new deed to you in an email. Once you approve it, once you tell us everything's copacetic, we will autograph and notarize and mail it off to the county to be recorded, and the county will forward the recorded copy on to you. So it's about 3 weeks before you have that in your hands, and you're able to demonstrate that as proof that you own the property. But again, as far as we're concerned, once you give us money, go out there, begin building, begin camping, begin hanging out, etc. It is yours to do with as you please. Anyway, if you guys have any further questions about this, feel free to leave a comment here on the YouTube. Shoot us an email, support@hemingwayland.com, or give us a call, 702-919-7170. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you in the next video.